All right, today we're going to learn how to do one of the most important things in film production, which is creating and distributing a call sheet. We're going to cover this in a variety of ways. Number one, I'm going to show you how to build one from scratch if you want to just do it yourself. Second, we're going to take a look into one of Assemble's call sheet templates and see how to use that template and customize it to your needs. And then third, we're going to show you how to distribute that out to your crew and use real-time collaborative tools to make that process as efficient as possible. Along the way, we're going to learn a lot about making call sheets. If this is your first time ever creating a call sheet, you'll learn a lot. Also, check out the blog article linked in the show notes if you want to see a full breakdown of everything that goes into a call sheet. But let's go ahead and get started. So those of you who are new to Assemble, first of all, let's just kind of orient ourselves and understand where we are. So if you log into Assemble, go ahead, come up here, click New Project, and that's going to take you through the quick process of starting a project. Once you're within the project, you'll have this sidebar here where you can add what we call phases, but are essentially just top-level folders. And then within these folders, you can begin to add any sorts of documents, files, assets that you need. So now that we're oriented, we're inside a project, we've clicked inside this production phase, and I'm going to go ahead and come up here, click Add, and this is where I can create any sort of document that I want. So let's go ahead and create that document. And as you can see, tons of templates preloaded into Assemble, call sheet being the very first one, a very popular template. But we're going to go ahead and start first and understand how to build this from scratch. So go ahead and create a blank document. And then right up here at the top, we can just go ahead and name this. We could also put our production title up here, totally up to you. But then we can just go into this document and begin to build out the document. So maybe we want to have just important notes at the top, just type, highlight all of your standard formatting that you would expect. Maybe we want to give some important notes, but then let's go ahead and start to build out the more advanced aspects of this. So if we hover here, instead of typing, this time we're going to go ahead and add a table. And so we've now got this fully customizable table that we can add into our document and edit it however we need. So one of the first things that you're always typically going to see on a call sheet would be something like a crew list. And so once we've created this table, we can then begin to edit this however we need. So let's just go ahead and say, crew title, maybe name, contact info, phone, etc. And then you can continue to customize this out however you need. We're not going to build a full call sheet right now. I'm going to show you more in-depth exploration once we get to the template. But just so you can understand the basics of how you would come in here and just start to fill out some of this information. You've also got a few different column types within here. So for instance, we could do numbers, checkbox, statuses, and images. So maybe we want to add in a column here that is, checking if we got the paperwork for each of these individual crew members. And you could just change that to a checkbox. And now we've got a way to just kind of track whose paperwork we've received and whose we haven't. So that's a basic example. You can obviously just continue to build this out. Some other things that you're certainly going to have in here are things like cast list, maybe daily shoot schedule, things of that nature. But let's talk about another great feature of Assemble, which is if you come and hover up here at the top, you can see the ability to add what we call widgets. Widgets are interactive, dynamic elements that you can pull to the top of your document. We'll go through them one by one. So first of all, you have your custom text widget, which this can just be any sort of important information. So in the case of a call sheet, it's most likely going to be your call time. That's one of the most important things that you want to have right up there at the top of the document. But it could really be anything. It could be the producer's contact info, a message to the crew, really anything and everything that you want. Number two, we're going to have a map widget. So if we come in here, click the widget, and then let's just go ahead and enter in a random address first that pops up here. And we now have a interactive map. If you click on that, it's going to open up directions to that location in Google Maps, enabling you and your crew to just very quickly find directions of how to arrive at that location. And then the third widget here is our weather widget. And so let's go ahead and try to grab that same address. It can be any address, and then you can pick a date anytime. Could be today, could be in the future, whenever your shoot is going to be. and then Fahrenheit or Celsius if you're outside of the US, and then just go ahead and click save. And we've now added that dynamic weather, which is going to give us the forecast for that day. It's going to update in real time and just let everybody know what the weather is going to be for that day. You can add up to 4 widgets. So we could add, another text widget. Maybe we want to add a widget and this time do a map and add our nearest hospital, something else that's very common. But you can really build this out any way that you want. Finally, if you want to add a little bit of branding, just come up here, click add cover image, and let's go ahead and browse our images here. And you can upload any sort of cover image. If you have, a poster, if it's a film or some sort of branding, maybe it's a commercial shoot, really just adds a nice visual touch. So totally optional, but always recommend it. So now that we've seen the basics of how to build out a call sheet, let's go ahead and jump into our template within Assemble so that we can really understand that a bit more in depth. So let's go ahead, same thing, add document, but this time instead of adding a blank document, let's just go ahead and click that call sheet template. This is going to give us a preview of what's inside, and we just go ahead and click use template. So now we've loaded up our template. I'm going to go ahead and add a cover image again because I personally like how that looks. So let's go ahead and grab that image, add that to the cover, and we've now got this nice branded template ready to go. So let's go ahead and jump into what's in the template and how to edit it. Obviously, you can just jump into these widgets, edit anything that you need directly into here. You can also just simply delete widgets or add new ones. Obviously, this is just a placeholder template, so this location is most likely not your shoot location. So just come here, edit widget, add in your location to both the map and the weather widget, along with your shoot date. That's going to update those for you. Coming into here, we can, of course, just customize and update any of this. So just click in here and delete, begin to start typing in your info. If maybe you don't want an entire section, you can just hover up here and delete an entire table. You can also add them in, really just fully customizable in any way that you need for your project. But let's go ahead and go through these sections one by one so that any of the newbies here can really understand what's in a template. We'll go through this quickly for any of the veterans, don't worry. But basically, call time, when does the shoot start? If it's a multi-day shoot, what day is it out of the total amount of days? Shoot location, weather, self-explanatory. And then down here, we're going to have our key contact information, your production company producing the project, producer, director, phone number, email, typically. Day at a glance, you can add a high-level view of the schedule, which is typically going to have things like the meal breaks, when the shooting is going to start. You could also certainly add your wrap time in here. Locations, once again, you could put these in the header in this template. We chose to put them in the body to give a little bit more detail, but you're certainly going to want to have your nearest hospital, typically your crew parking, and potentially base camp if it's a larger shoot and the base camp is going to be, somewhere that may not be the primary location. Down here, we've built out a full shoot schedule. You can expand this into a full screen view if you want a little bit more space, or just scroll. Lots of details on what goes into a shoot schedule on our blog or on our YouTube. But once again, this is fully customizable. You can also just click to drag and drop throughout your shoot day, just a heads up as you're maybe reorganizing that shoot schedule. Really important. You also have the ability to create custom tags. So as you can see here, I've created a day and night tag, so you can let everyone know where that's when that shoot is going to take place, or what the setting is. I should be more specific. Down here, cast list. So once again, you're going to have your character name, cast name. You can add images into these tables. So if you want to add headshots of your actors or characters, you can do that. And then here we're going to have a breakdown of when they need to be on set for their call, their makeup, wardrobe, and ready to shoot. Crew list. So as we started to build out earlier, you're going to want to just add in all of your crew members, their names, call times, phones, and emails. You can also add special instructions if specific crew members need to have specific instructions. And then down here, a section for global special instructions and transportation information. Once again, this is fully customizable, so you can change this in any way that you want, but feel free to use our template within Assemble. It's a great place to start and just have the groundwork laid for you. Finally, last part of this video is how do we share this out? How do we send this to our crew, which is very important. So anything within Assemble can be published as a review link to the web so that anyone can access it with no Assemble account required. It's incredibly easy. And there's tons of advantages to publishing this as a review link. Just come up here, click share, and go ahead and hit share document link. We're going to have a few options. Number one, you're going to be able to track views. So you'll be able to see who's viewed it. Very important if you want to make sure everybody's got the call sheet and acknowledged it. Password protected if you like, if this is something sensitive. You have the option to share this collaboratively, which means that the people that access the link could actually come in here and edit it. Probably don't want to do that for a call sheet unless you're just building it with maybe your production team. Once this is ready to send out to your crew, you're probably going to want to turn share as presentation on. That way, this will be a read only that people will be unable to edit. Here, we've got the ability to add a custom email. So if you want to customize that email, typically people are going to put something, all caps like this, where we have, our official call time. You can also add some custom messages directly into that email as well. And then just go ahead and hit create link. And then just enter the email addresses or copy the link here. And this is going to blast this out to anybody who needs to have it. One quick trick here within Assemble, let's say you've built out your crew list and you've got all of their emails in this email column, for example. Let me just go ahead and jump up here since we've got some emails already. You could just click and highlight that entire row, hit Command C to copy, and then go back to that review link and Command V directly in there, hit enter, and this is going to blast that out to all of those people. So what's going to happen when they receive that? They're going to get an email with the custom email subject line that you've added in here. They're going to be able to open that email and just click and instantly open that call sheet with no login required, no sign up required. It's going to be able to be opened on a mobile phone, on desktop, iPad, whatever that may be. And if you're curious what that's going to look like, let's go ahead and take a look at that. So let's go ahead and just update a few things here to make it easier to see. But I'm just going to go ahead and copy that link. And so I'm going to jump to an incognito window now. So imagine someone on your crew. I've never heard of Assemble. I get this email from you about a call sheet. I click it. And as you're going to see, it just opens up. I didn't have to log in. I didn't have to create an account. It just displays perfectly for me. It is fully mobile optimized, as mentioned. I'm unable to edit or change anything. As you can see, it's a read only. But then the great thing about sharing this as a review link, number one, you're going to be able to track who's viewed it. But then number two, this is going to update in real time anytime changes are made. And so once this call sheet has been sent, you never have to resend it again if changes are made. So for example, let's say we shift some things around here on the schedule. We need to rebuild that. If we jump back out to that crew member view and scroll down in that schedule, we can see that instantly updated. So this just completely solves the problem of the back and forth, having to edit, resend, and manage all those different documents that you may be sending out to your crew. So this is a summary of how to build and distribute a call sheet. I hope you've learned a lot. If you're interested in learning more about how to build call sheets, hit the link that I'll leave in the show notes for the full blog article doing a deep dive on call sheets. And if you're interested in learning more about Assemble's features and how you can create other types of documents like shot lists and storyboards and anything else that you need for the production process, check out our YouTube, subscribe, and keep an eye out for all of the videos that we're publishing on there.